in my age bracket that been finding myself sandwiched between two generations. You know, you've got a generation of these, you know, boomers that are supposed to be retiring and everything, but now due to the economic situation, many of them are continuing working. They've blown our inheritance on their, you know, their life because they need it. You know, now that's not me personally. I don't have any, but on the same hand, you've got a generation or two generations, you know, coming up that the government's trying to feed and invest in. I mean, let's face it, if the government's going to invest money in education, are they going to do that to somebody that's almost 40, that's looking at retirement, you know, in 25 years? Or are they going to invest it in somebody that's 18 that's going to be paying taxes for, you know, a possible 45 working years, you know, especially if they've got good grades or whatever, you know. I figure that pretty well I'm on my own no matter what. I mean, the government obviously already told me that my career choice is not a applicable one or whatever. I don't know if it's going to be any good. I've been really worried about that recently. You know, I chose the job mainly because of the cost of getting into it, the short-term education, and the skills that I had. As far as was there going to be any money in it, well, let me tell you, is there any money in a factory? Nope. Is there any money in agriculture right now? Nope. So is there going to be any money in real estate? Probably not. I don't know where there's going to be any money. Well, as long as properties are moving, you know, despite the price. But right now, I mean, they are slowing down. And the average age was 55 for a real estate agent, so I figured I had that going for me, that over the next few years, the retirement, some say they never retire. Well, without being, you know, at the uttermost cold and cruel, you're going to die eventually. I mean, you're 75 or 80, you know, I don't want to say it that way, but there will be a drop-off, and because of the average age being so high, that there's not as many young people getting into it. So I'm hoping that at least mid and long term, that'll be on my side. My personal abilities and skills, from the reflection that I've got from some people I've consulted in, have told me that they think I should do well at it. I hope to. Apparently I have the gift of the gab. In high school, they brought out these OACs. Now, for those of you that are not in Canada probably won't even know what I'm talking about. I don't even know what they mean because I never could figure it out, and they got rid of them by the time I was long gone. But you used to go up to grade 13 if you wanted to go to university. You would get one more year of high school because, of course, you learn so much in high school. And they got rid of that, and they brought out these OACs, and a lot of it was you had to start your course in life at 15 when you started making your very first courses. If you wanted to go to university, you'd have to take all advanced courses and everything. And, well, 200 years ago, it wouldn't be unrealistic for a 15-year-old to know what he's doing the rest of his life. In 1985, I think that's a pretty unrealistic thing to ask somebody. You know, when you're raised on Bugs Bunny and, you know, McDonald's and Happy Meals and hot rods and movies, you know, like, you have no concept or clue or idea what you're getting into. And I think, looking back on it now, that was a pretty unfair burden to put on a 15-year-old. You know, in that day and age. It would be today, too. I mean, how can you possibly know the future? And, I mean, even then, looking back on it then, you know, come on, the economy was still liquid even then. It's always changing. They got us to get into all these tech jobs. They said, oh, get into robotics, techs. That's the wave of the future. And, you know, I can't tell you how many times guys my age, a number of years ago now, but they would go to 2 years of college for this, and by the time they graduated, what they learned was already outdated. So they couldn't even get a job. They were working at McDonald's. Now, I can remember all the news articles about that. This is going back probably about 10 or 15 years now. And I was even joking with my friend once. He finally graduated. I said, you can get a job at McDonald's. He's like, yeah, really. But, you know, so who really knows the future?